Once upon a gray November day in 1898, a boy was born in the small town of Lessines, Belgium. His name was René Francois Gislam Magritte, a name the world would one day know, though few would understand the man behind the bowler hat. He was the eldest of 3 sons, raised in a modest household where the days smelled of fabric and thread. His father, a tailor turned merchant. His mother, a milliner with delicate fingers. The home was quiet but strained, shadowed by unspoken grief and fragile hope. When René was just 13, the world tilted. His mother, troubled and sorrowful, walked into a river one night and never came back. They say they found her with her dress covering her face, like a veil between the world and the unbearable. René never spoke much of it, but later in painting after painting, floating bodies, veiled faces, and the sea returned, silent witnesses of a memory too deep to forget. Years passed. Young Magritte turned to art like a child might turn to dreaming, not to escape, but to understand. He enrolled in the Académie Royale des Beaux-Arts in Brussels, but the halls felt stiff, the instruction dry. He wanted something more than rules. He wanted mystery. He wanted to say what couldn't be said. While working as a wallpaper designer to survive, he painted in secret, experimenting with cubism, futurism, and his own quiet rebellion. Then one day, he saw a painting that changed everything. Song of Love by Giorgio de Chirico. A rubber glove, a head, and a wall. It made no sense, and yet it was true. Not in logic, in feeling. In 1922 he married Georgette, his anchor, his constant, his muse. They had met when they were teenagers at a fairground. She would appear again and again in his art, dressed in shadow, shrouded in light, or simply present in a world where things were never what they seemed. In 1926, Magritte painted The Lost Jockey, his first surrealist work. He followed it with a flood of strange, poetic images. Men with no faces, pipes that weren't pipes, apples that hid everything. He moved to Paris, where the surrealists welcomed him, Breton, Dali, and others. But even among dreamers, Magritte felt like an outsider. He wasn't interested in the subconscious like Dali. His art wasn't born from madness, it came from the ordinary. The unbelievable hiding in plain sight. In 1930, he returned to Brussels and opened a design studio with his brother Paul. As interest in his paintings grew, he shifted to painting full-time by the mid-1930s, and there, in the stillness of the city, he painted and painted. During World War II, as bombs fell, Magritte responded not with horror, but with light. He entered his Renoir period, painting with softer colors, blooming flowers, a strange beauty against a broken world. Fame came late, but it came strong. In the 1950s and 60s, his work spread across Europe and America. People were captivated by the bowler hats, the cloudy skies, the gentle absurdity. His paintings spoke to something deep and nameless, the mystery of being human. When asked what his art meant, Magritte would only smile. He once said, "Everything we see hides another thing." It wasn't meant to explain. It was meant to make you pause. In 1965, he stood in the halls of MoMA in New York for his first major retrospective. His work hung like riddles on the wall, each one a quiet revolution. 2 years later, in 1967, Magritte died of pancreatic cancer. He left behind hundreds of paintings and a world that would never look quite the same again. And so his story ends, but not really. His visual puzzles remain iconic, powerful symbols across modern culture, from advertising to album covers to cinema. Magritte's art hinged on transformation of everyday objects, bowler hats, apples, pipes, into uncanny, evocative symbols. Magritte's images make the ordinary feel strange, elevating familiar objects to philosophical metaphors. His philosophy was that the visible hides the invisible, and sometimes the most surreal thing of all is reality itself. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more timeless tales and truths from history. It is a pleasure to serve you. Many blessings to you.